This episode of the Nerd Corporation podcast may contain spoilers and explicit language. Listener discretion is advised.
Drop it! Dead or alive, you are coming with me.
Welcome to Retromania!
We are the Nerd Corporation.
What up, everybody? It's Thursday. You know what that means.
Another day of what the fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
It
it'd be like that.
it really do be like that sometimes. But no, it's podcast day.
Mm.
My name is Eddie Lyon, and I could be a cyborg if I wanted to. With me, as always, is Derek Reese.
I'd buy that for $1.
There it is.
Cole Simper,
Hey, it's me.
and Nick Lewis.
Your move, creep.
And we are the Nerd Corporation. Welcome to episode 209, Dead or Alive, You're Coming With Me. We're going to be talking about Robocop. Welcome to our Retromania episode. Man, this movie is so dope. Like,
Mhm.
it's one, like, and it holds up. You know what I mean?
Maybe not the CG, but
I mean, but even then,
we'll
but
get-
even then, yeah, but even then, for fucking 87, you know what I mean?
yeah, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
I put this movie in the same category as like a Total Recall
Mhm.
and Demolition Man, and like those movies that have like action and sci-fi, but like the sci-fi is in the back most of the time.
Yeah,
Uh,
like I don't know, like I know there's a word for it, but it's like future, like semi-futuristic because
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's the one, dystopian. Like it's supposed to be happening like years in the future. Like,
Yeah, like the
as to
sci-fi
when
is
the
just the
movie's made.
vehicle,
Yeah.
but it's not like the point.
Like there's stuff that you see in RoboCop that you're just like, why don't we have that by now?
yeah,
Well,
right,
that one dude had an app on his phone
right.
to track him.
I'm mostly talking about the automated like realtor when
Right,
Yeah.
right.
it's like, hey, what?
I love how the kid is watching the TV show, but like they didn't even bother trying to make the TV look like a futuristic. It's just that
It's
old
just a
fucking
regular
box.
old fucking box
Yeah.
TV.
There's no TV that comes up out of the ground and it's like
Nothing. They're just
hologram.
like, nah, fuck you. Here's an old TV.
And then for some reason, every computer in the future has a spike-shaped USB port.
Yeah.
You know,
The most aggressive fucking like way to. I'm gonna jam this data into you, bitch.
like
Yeah, you
flash
know
drives are
You
literally
know that shit
spikes.
was a fucking weapon first and
Yeah.
then a USB drive
You
second.
could do this too.
Oh man. So, RoboCop was directed by Paul Verhoeven. He also directed Total Recall, Starship Troopers, Basic Instinct, Showgirls. It was written by Edward Neumeier and Michael Miner, who both actually wrote a lot of the same things together. So the 2014 RoboCop, Starship Troopers, the Aftermath DLC for Mortal Kombat 11 that had RoboCop in it, and literally like every RoboCop project from like TV shows to spin-offs. I mean, like they had anything that had to do with RoboCop, Edward Neumeier and Michael Miner were part of it. Uh, we'll start with the cast. It's just a short list of the cast. Peter Weller as Alex Murphy, RoboCop. You know, he was in the Mortal Kombat 11 Aftermath DLC as RoboCop. He was Vice Admiral Caleb, what is it? Ties in uh, Call of Duty Infinite Warfare.
Yeah.
Oh,
He was in 11 episodes of Sons of Anarchy as Charlie Borowski. And he was in the animated Batman: The Dark Knight Returns Part 1 and 2 as Batman Bruce Wayne.
isn't he also reprising in Rogue City?
Yes, he is also reprising
Yeah,
in Rogue
which
City.
I think was awesome.
It's such a cool game, dude. I still haven't finished it, but
Like
it's
after, because like I hadn't seen RoboCop for probably since high school, so it's probably been like 20 years since I've watched it.
holy shit.
And like rewatching it made me like just like refresh my memory, and I'm like, oh dude, the game got the bullpen right. Like
Yeah, yeah,
the
uh-huh.
corridors, like everything is how it is in the movie. Totally forgot about the movie.
Yeah, dude, it's super fun because you do see like a lot of the elements are still there. So I really dig the game for that. Um, we have Nancy Allen as Anne Lewis. She was in the 1976 Carrie as Chris Hargensen. Poltergeist 3 as Patricia Gardner. RoboCop 2 and 3, but she also did a bunch of like B movies and was like in one episode of Law and Order SVU because that's like an actor rite of passage at this point.
If you're in a cop movie, you're
Yeah.
going to be on Law and Order.
We have Kurtwood Smith as Clarence Boddicker.
Good old Kurtwood Smith.
We all know him best as Red Foreman in that 70s and that 90s show. He was Griggs in Rambo 3, uh, Federation President in Star Trek 6, Secretary of Defense Baird in Broken Arrow, Otis Hefter in Deep Impact, and General Decker in Fallout Tactics.
Is he still alive?
Yeah.
Of course.
Crazy.
Yeah, he's doing that 90s show, or he did that 90s show.
I fucking loved Kurtwood Smith in this movie.
He was
Oh,
so fucking cool, dude.
he's so cool, dude.
He was so fucking cool. Ronnie
Slimy.
Cox, yeah, super slimy, scummy as fuck. Ronnie Cox is Dick Jones. He uh Cohagen in Total Recall,
Ronnie Cox,
right?
Dick Jones.
Right? Dick Cox, if you put it together. He was Drew in Deliverance and Lieutenant Bogomil in Beverly Hills Cop. Miguel Ferrer as Bob Morton. He was the he was the guy with the chicks and the coke that got killed by Clarence Boddicker. Uh, Miguel was Agent Rosenfield in the 2017 Twin Peaks. He is the heretic leader in Halo 2.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, he's Vice President Rodriguez in Iron Man 3, and he does a lot of like work for DC Animation
Oh, that's so
Studios.
sick.
Yeah.
Okay. A
Yeah,
weird connection.
yeah, he's got like he's done Sinestro, he's done one of the Green
That
Lanterns.
wasn't the guy that I'm thinking of, like the bad bank guy from Blank Check, was it?
I don't think so. Uh-uh.
It's the guy in Halo 2 that goes, "The prophets have lied to us, Arbiter."
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
I'm just thinking
I
of
mean,
like,
he's done a ton of like parts like that in, older classic movies and stuff though.
Yeah.
Because like, I mean, I remember seeing him all over the place.
I'm sure he has a very extensive I think he has like 128 credits to his name.
Jesus.
Yeah.
that's pretty dope. Good for him.
no, it
Right.
is him.
It is him from Blank
Yeah.
Check. Yeah.
He's the
So
guy that hits the kid and then like hands him a blank check, and he's like, don't tell anyone. And then that's where all the shenanigans ensue.
Oh, it's his fault.
It
Yeah.
is absolutely his fault. Um, so that's like as far as like the main cast goes, that's who.
Well, I mean, hold on one sec.
quick question. If
Hmm.
someone gave you a blank check, how much money would you write on it?
I don't know.
Um, okay.
One Google.
One Googleplex.
One
So
Google.
At least a Billy. At least a Billy.
I do want to bring up one other person from the what I would consider sort of the main cast. Ray Wise is the actor's name. Um,
Who did he
he
play?
he was the guy who at the end, and I'm blanking on his name, but he was the guy who at the end when RoboCop and his partner are, you know, back in the junkyard or whatever, or the dilapidated warehouse or whatever, and they're outside fighting with Boddicker or whatever. He's the guy who moves the crane over and drops the shit on RoboCop.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
Ray Wise is fucking amazing, and like he's great in everything I've seen him in. He's been in episodes of uh oh well shit, what's it called? Oh, Psych. So he was in episodes of Psych. He was in a TV show called Reaper. If you have not watched Reaper, I it only lasted for a season.
Is that
I,
the
I
one
think
with
one or two seasons. But
Tyler Labine?
yeah. That's
Dude,
where I
that
first
show
saw
was
Tyler Labine,
incredible.
and it was such a good show. And Ray Wise plays the devil. But
Oh,
basically,
that's right.
it's this kid who gets sort of sold to the devil by his parents in exchange for something I don't recall. But so he when he comes of age, he has to basically do the devil's bidding, and the devil basically uses him as his reaper uh to like corral different evil souls that escape from hell and stuff. So he like pulls a couple of his friends in
More
to sort of
gun,
help
huh?
him go around and get these wayward souls that need to be returned to hell. It's fucking hilarious. It's so good. And Ray Wise plays such a good devil.
Yeah,
Okay,
he plays Leon Nash, the
Oh,
one of
right. Leon.
Boddicker's cronies.
Yeah, which at first I didn't recognize him, and then I was like, because he has a totally different speech pattern. I mean,
Mhm.
he's definitely, in a
and this was
character.
like 40 years ago too. So
True.
it's hard
True.
because like I didn't until you mentioned that he was in Reaper. Now I'm like, oh, now I can see that guy in my head
Yeah.
perfectly.
And I mean 1985, like he obviously looks way different. But yeah, I was like, that guy looks kind of familiar. And then yeah, I Googled it real quick and was like, holy shit, it is him. But
Yeah,
yeah.
he was Commissioner Gordon, I think, in that Killing Joke animation.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
I think
Who,
so.
who plays the black guy that like cackles every time he laughs?
Oh my God, dude. Like that guy can't say anything without
Well, dude, that's like typical bad guy like 101 in the 80s, right? Like
Mhm.
you have to yell really loud,
Yeah.
curse a lot, and laugh at
Like a
everything.
fucking maniac.
Like a maniac, dude. Like every time they turned on the TV for that, I'd buy that for $1. They were laughing unnecessarily hard at that shit because he would just,
Everybody, not just the bad guys too.
yeah, even the
The
Yeah.
convenience
convenience store
store, yeah.
workers were like losing their minds over it.
Yeah. So
Like
Uh,
ridiculous.
uh,
so loud, dude.
like it's perfect, and it's also camp. It's campy.
Oh
Mhm.
yeah.
It's very serious but non-serious at the same time. Like
Very, very over the top. Like very just
I love
like
it.
Like the one guy that survives and is waiting when Clarence and the guys show up with the new weapons or whatever. He's like
Mhm.
he's watching that on TV and then he like gets mad that there's like all this destruction going on, so he like breaks the window and like turns the
I
TV up
can't
and
can't
then
hear
hear
like
it.
it.
You can't hear it.
Well, and I love that because like it's obviously, some long-running joke that everyone in the movie knows and is familiar with, and we never get to see the joke. We just see the punchline,
Right.
And so it's really funny that they never let us in on the back story of that. I think
Yeah,
that's
like
Does he
great.
buy for $1?
Yeah. What is he
What does he
buying?
buy?
That doesn't make
the
any
women?
sense to what's going on and what's being said before he says the thing.
I would buy two human adult women for $1 too. What do you,
that
That's a steal.
that is a steal.
forever?
If you think
I don't just
about
have you
like
for a month or for like an hour.
if you think about it in today's age with like inflation and stuff like that, like that's a steal, man.
That's
Oh,
like
yeah.
that's like $4 or $5 today.
Cheaper than eggs.
Cheaper than eggs.
Buying a human woman.
Damn.
Slavery.
It's cheaper than eggs.
Slavery. Damn. Slavery. It's cheaper than eggs.
That's the next slogan for the Trump campaign.
Right?
Oh man.
What were your guys's like what was something that always that like stands out to you the most? Like what's a part that you're just like, this is what RoboCop is?
Dick shot.
Dick shot.
That's like the one thing that I
Or-
had cemented in my head, even having not seen RoboCop for so long. I was just remembering. I'm like, yeah, when he shoots the guy in the dick.
Like it took 20 minutes for someone to reference the dick joke.
The
Because
dick
yeah, that's
joke.
the first thing that I thought of, that I was like, damn, everyone's gonna have an opinion about the remember when RoboCop shot that guy in the dick? Y'all
Yeah.
have seen that video, right?
Yeah. Scene 27.
Yeah, Nick, you've seen this shit, right?
Um,
Live reaction. Do this shit right now. Google it right now. It has to be uncensored too.
RoboCop.
I
Scene
can't
27.
believe you've never seen this before.
maybe I have. It just doesn't sound familiar. Hang on. Is it like YouTube?
Yeah, YouTube.
Will you see it on YouTube?
Yeah.
Might
Like,
have to like Google it.
where would it what would it be? Because like, let's see.
Because you gotta see the uncensored version. You have to get like the full brunt of the video. I don't
Okay.
want you to have pixelated dicks on your screens. Here, I'll Google it too, just for continuity's sake. That's some crazy like
That's
Horror
bizarre.
I love that the women are just like, the fuck just
I love
happened?
that afterwards he still tells her that she's suffered an emotional shock. It's like, so have I, RoboCop.
it's such a weird parody. It's like
It is incredibly weird.
you know how expensive that was to do that? Like to make all those like mock dicks and have them like explode in slow motion. Like it's not
Somebody like us just had a lot of money and was just
Mhm.
like, let's do this.
Yep.
crazy, dude.
That's wild.
Holy shit. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that's the one that's on everybody's like at the front of everybody's mind, but
Yeah.
yeah, that's like cemented in my brain, whenever RoboCop comes up, it's just like, oh, shot that guy in the dick. Like
Yep.
that's just RoboCop to me.
Dick shot. That's
Yeah.
RoboCop. What was your favorite part?
My favorite part was probably my favorite part had to have been when the ED machine malfunctions and just obliterates that guy at the very beginning.
Yeah.
Like,
that was a cool
and
one.
the rest of the movie, nobody gives a shit.
Yeah, like
They're just like, that's
Like, not
life
even
in the city.
immediately.
Like, yeah, people stopped giving a shit like 20 seconds later. There's like
Well,
there was like three people that were like, "Oh my god, call it
Yeah.
paramedic," but the rest
Call
of them were like,
paramedic. And I'm like,
yeah,
dude, there's no paramedic
yeah, and aside from
in
that, the
this
only
city
shits
that can
that were
save him.
given were like more about the company,
Yeah.
not the
Yeah,
dude
and
who
then when they're going
died, you
down
know?
the elevator, it's like, oh, it's or too bad about what's his name, huh? And he's just like, oh, that's life in the city. It's like that is not
Right.
life in any city.
Yeah,
you know
like
what's
what
funny?
city is that life in?
Yeah,
You know what's funny now that I think about it?
Detroit, I guess.
Why didn't the one guy just be like, "Oh, instead of picking Murphy, there's a candidate right there, dead on the table.
He wasn't a cop though.
You're looking for a body." Oh, that's
Well,
true. Yeah,
yeah, and also
there you go.
he was like an executive sort of person of the company, so like that would be noticeable.
And he was
Right.
like a new guy too.
They're taking a cop because that's like a nameless, faceless person to, people that matter.
Yeah.
And the initiative was like the Robocop initiative.
Right.
I guess they could have done something like that. I don't know.
That's still funny.
There was like a slight moment, like right before that part in the movie, where I was like, "This is boring as shit." Like where it was just like a bunch of suits just talking, and then eventually they started like, eventually the movie like and it's almost like the movie like recognized that it was being boring as shit. It's like after that, it was like, nah, you know.
Oh
We're
shit,
gonna we're gonna
we're
ramp
losing
it up.
Cole. We're losing
Yeah.
Cole. We gotta
Move
next scene. Next scene.
on, move
Why
on.
you motherfuckers gotta make it personal every time? I'm just like you. This is like I'm gonna. This is my opinion. I'm a person on this podcast of opinions. All right.
They gotta set shit up for a second. Give them a minute to cook.
Well,
Right.
yeah. But that was like it was like 20 minutes into the movie, and I'm like, dude, we're not talking about RoboCop. What the fuck is going on?
Hey man, we got full blown titties at like 3.5 minutes.
Yeah.
That's
So
true.
Where?
That's true.
In the
locker
In the
room.
locker room.
I saw titties, but it wasn't full blown.
Oh no, there were full blown titties in the locker room.
yeah,
Like the
right
women
before
and
she
men
right
are
before she
in the
put
same locker room.
right
So
before she put the armor on.
I don't know because that's exactly where I saw titties as well. However, it was a different angle. So it wasn't like, and now my question is, did y'all watch the regular or the directors? Because I watched
I
the
watched
directors.
I watched
I
the
watched the
director.
directors.
Yeah, me
Okay.
too.
So I guess I just missed the frame where there were like bazingas in my face. Because all
It
I
was
saw,
like the camera was like right here and it was panning
Yeah.
across.
yeah,
It
it was
was
just
it
like
was
a pan
quick.
shot.
It was fast. Yeah, it was fast, but they were out.
Watch
Yeah.
porn.
Um,
Just watch porn. Like it,
I do
okay, you
kind
fucking
of
weirdo.
wish that they had
Full
used
fingers and you could just see
the
nipples.
the dude dying in the boardroom. I do kind of wish that they had tied that into it. I wish they had made that intentional. Like
Mhm.
have a line at some point in the movie where Dick says, "Yeah, I mean, he fucked with me too, and look what happened to him."
yeah.
Like
Oh yeah,
in
yeah. Like
so
just
that
not
it's
have him be some regular random casualty.
yeah, exactly. Like have it be like, "Oh shit, he did that on purpose."
Yeah. No, that'd have been
Like
And
cool.
that would have been like an additional level of sinister fuckery.
What a twist.
the fact that he perfectly falls on the model of the new city too. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
and then the shots in like almost every shot of like Delta City, there's a silver lining. Like they're just like, "Oh, what's they're trying to be like, yeah, we're still on track. Like everything's gonna be all right.
There's still a reason to live here.
Yeah. Derek, most memorable and favorite part.
I mean, for me, I would say like the most memorable was Murphy's death, especially. I mean, not just his death, but the fact that Boddicker just like shoots his hand right off, um, and it's just so like, oh wow, they just did that like right on screen.
Incredibly gory, this movie.
Yeah.
Excellent gore.
Oh, dude,
Very-
yeah. Anyone that died got obliterated.
Yeah.
Right. And I will say, I mean, it was kind of funny though that like they, from that far away started shooting him and his entire arm blows right off. Like, okay. all
And
right,
he's still alive, like he's not
Like,
in
hey, he's
shock
still
or doesn't
alive.
fucking
And he's like,
well,
pass
and I
out.
love how this happens in the early, like the morning / early afternoon. And then like 12 hours later, they're finally taking him to the hospital and he's still kicking.
Yeah, no,
Like,
not a thing.
But
Well, I mean, and like you're telling me that they reconstructed his brain.
yeah,
Right, because he got shot in it.
Yeah, like I don't know. It's
Yeah, when he
they
takes
probably
off
they
his
probably just
helmet
threw a
for
circuit
Lewis,
board in there.
there's
Yeah,
a bullet
the
in like his head still.
Yeah. Um, but like so that like that was really cool. I don't know. I for me like my favorite part is just watching all of the crazy effects and how yeah, like the gore totally holds up. Other things not so much. But like it's still really fun. Like that's one of my
it's
favorite
still
parts.
cool.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite things like when uh what was it? Was it Dick at the end that goes gets shot out the window? Yeah, yeah.
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 Um,
Yeah.
did you notice how like weirdly extremely long
long
his
his
arms
arms
become
Yeah.
for no goddamn reason?
It
Like
was very not human. It was
yeah,
very
he
tall.
started turning into some kind of fucking monster at the end there. Like that was weird. But and yeah, just watching like my I would say my favorite part though, like for real, is probably the fight between like RoboCop and the other what was it called? The
Ed
MK.
209.
Yeah, yeah. Um
The ED
or
something.
ED. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Um him just falling down the stairs was fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like and then squealing like a pig.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, like
Like why
legit
was this thing
like a pig.
growling? Like
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't I don't know, but yeah, the CGI for that was like okay,
Like
this is an 80s movie.
because that's the thing. Like sure you could program a robot to do those things, but what the fuck is wrong with that programmer?
Yeah.
Right.
Like
Right.
what is going on in this person's head that they're making a robot growl and squeal? Like,
Yeah. It's kind of weird.
Never once did I look at it and I was like, "Oh, it looks so real." But
Right.
I still thought it was cool how they superimposed the claymation
mhm.
on top of the footage already,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and like had like characters like react and stuff like it. Again, I'm not gonna fucking sit here and tell you that it looked real, but
Mhm.
for 87, that definitely was like it looked real. You know
Yeah.
Mhm.
what I
Oh
mean?
yeah.
Like
Oh yeah.
for 87, it was definitely like a really cool thing. And I couldn't shake this feeling like the whole time that I was watching this movie. I couldn't shake the feeling that like I was in a theater in 87. Like well, I was also extremely high, but I couldn't help but feel it's just such a movie. You know what I
Yeah,
Yeah.
mean?
it
Like
is.
there's
It
like
really
there's
is.
lots of like old school like movie sound effects in there too. Like there's the camera zoom shots and like there's some like special effects sounds like when a door opens and it's like it's RoboCop, but there's like a
Mhm.
specific like sound that goes behind it too. Like
Yeah.
it just there was like movie magic about it that's just not in movies anymore.
Well, and
Yeah.
just the theme music, the bam bam bam
I
bam
fucking hate the
bam
I
bam
hate the
bam.
theme music.
Like it's
The theme
so
music for RoboCop almost sounds like a parody, like it's making fun of itself.
it's just so good. Like every time, he's coming on screen to kick some ass. Ba 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 ba.
Ba, 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 ba.
So good. You know what though? Like I wanna make a pact. Like if this movie, because you know how every now and then they bring an old ass movie back to theaters for a fun little, week or whatever.
Oh
Like
yeah.
we're going to this movie
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hell yeah.
together.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I thought you
Um.
were gonna say when they eventually remake it, and I'm like,
No.
haven't they remade it like twice now?
Yeah. Once in 2014, I think.
Dude,
yeah.
I watched the trailer for that and I was like, "Oh my God, no."
I watched
Like,
it, and it
I
was it
I
was
think I
it
I
was
think I
okay.
watched it too.
I
There's
think
a
it,
cool moment in it where I don't know if it's not in this movie, but I don't know if it was in like any of the sequels. But like, there's a moment in that remake where he gets like taken into this room and he's like, and they're like, "Would you like to see what is left of you?" And they like take him into this room and he's just like a brain in like half of the
Oh,
lung and like half of his heart, like
yeah.
thing. and he's like, oh God, oh God, he's like, oh fuck, this is what I am now, fuck, like
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
a pretty good scene, personally, I
I
thought, but
I do love that for absolutely no reason whatsoever that they reattached his arm and Bob was like, "No, fuck this bitch's arm."
Yeah, they're like, we were able
Yeah.
to save his arm, and he's like, nah, man, I ain't trying to do none of
Like
that.
that's so funny. Like he's just so
Get rid of the arm.
aggressively like upset about this
He just
arm.
couldn't
Like
be. Yeah, he's just visibly mad that someone decided to keep this man's arm. He's like, he's legally dead. We could do whatever the fuck we want with him,
which means no fucking arm.
which means fuck his arm, dog.
it's constantly like
And they did
like
behind
it's
the scenes.
I feel like the movie like constantly has like a thematic criticism of humanity like throughout the
Yeah,
Yeah.
entire movie. It never paints humanity in like a good light at all. There
yeah,
are like,
like everything's just bleak and
Mhm.
well,
fucking
not only that, but like you're also like they're just like they're extremes, right? Like
yeah.
if you're bad, you're an extremely bad guy. And but if you're like Murphy, you're extremely tempered in not ideology, but like the way that you
Morality.
in morality. Yeah. So like he's like perfect to be a cop, to be a peace enforcer because he's so one-sided in that.
He has this
You know
like
what I mean?
crazy, like yeah, this crazy enforced moral code for himself, not
Yeah.
just as a cop, but just as a human being.
Mhm.
And it feeds into the campy nature of the movie too.
It
Like
does.
the part where he like kind of wakes up when they're like experimenting on him and making him into RoboCop, and he comes like he wakes up during a celebration of some kind, a party.
New
Hmm.
Year's.
Is it New Year's? I
Yeah,
thought
it's New
Yeah,
Yeah,
Year's.
she
because
gives him a
they're
New Year's
kind of like
kiss.
showing how long it's taking to.
I don't know why, but I thought that like maybe they were celebrating because they got like funding passed or some shit. Like I don't
Um,
know why. But anyways, regardless, it's a party and they're all like drunk as shit, and they're like the one like makes out with his visor and then the a bunch of them are like doing the party streamers like blowing it in
Yeah.
his face and stuff, and it's just like there's a constant criticism of humanity in this where it's like this is a place where none is left at all.
Well, yeah, I mean, especially with, RoboCop being like it's really a big commentary on like our ability to see others as less than human.
Yeah.
And
Oh yeah.
if you see somebody as not human, what you do to them doesn't matter. You don't have to feel bad about treating somebody in any kind of way.
Shooting him in the dick.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
big shot,
big shot.
RoboCop.
My memorable moment is also the uh Murphy getting pretty much obliterated. Um, that's the scene that I think about when I think about RoboCop, apart from the
Mhm.
fucking the nut shot. But when I think about RoboCop, I think of that scene in particular. And my favorite part is right after he's built and he goes out and just starts fighting crime.
Taj, like just immediately from the jump, he's like, I'm fighting crime.
Yeah, and he just fucking goes at it, like that is just like I don't know, watching him do that is just so fucking cool. And I'm just like, yeah, RoboCop,
I
like,
like
uh,
the part when he's about to go out and they're like, "Get this man a car," and the chief throws the keys, but RoboCop catches him and he's like, "Thank you."
yeah,
Thanks.
Like it's almost like
I love his voice.
he's self-aware,
hmm
like
Yeah.
Yeah, he's self-aware to a point, right? Like there's
yeah.
hmm
there's a point in the movie where he does the gun trick.
yeah,
Yeah.
the
And
He
TJ
does it a couple
laser,
times, doesn't he?
Yeah, he
yeah.
did it a couple times, but like the first time that he does it, like it was on my mind the whole time. I'm like, do you think he was like, can you make me do the spin? Can you program the spin with my?
Yeah, I mean, and that's funny because like there's, there's a little bit of comic relief added in, sure, like with the TV guy and everything, but I mean, additionally, the whole thing has this really tongue-in-cheek sort of, you know, humor to it that's just right there below the surface that
Oh yeah.
it's just really good the way that they were able to sort of have that subtext there. It was just really funny.
It's not
But
as important.
yeah.
Yeah, it's not it, but it's important, but it's not as important as like the tone and like,
Mhm.
because we don't the this is the last fucking place that I would ever want to be still, even today. Detroit, but never gonna fucking go there ever.
Yeah.
However, the movie does like a really good job of like telling, of like showing like why this is just not a good place. And I also think super prescient at the time. I feel like this is insanely accurate to almost kind of what we live in today, where it's like we are surrounded by high tech shit everywhere. Like technology continues to soar upwards, but we do not. We stagnated
Yeah.
in terms of like, mental maturity and all and everything that comes with that. So it's like, and humanity is just like inherently flawed to the point where it's like we can continue going upwards technology wise, where everything just like seems better, you know and is more convenient, but like we still don't know how to treat each other. And
Mhm.
and I'm not gonna like, I just think it's crazy that in 87 they like nailed the
Yeah.
futuristic shit even more than like Back to the Future did.
Oh
Well,
yeah. Oh yeah.
and
You know what I mean?
what's really funny, and I don't know why I haven't really connected these before when I've, watched this or this other movie, but there's a movie that Mystery Science Theater 3000 mocked called, well, one of the names for it, because it has a couple different names, but is Escape 2000, where it's this big conglomerate, company that is except this one is the Bronx is where they're doing this. But yeah, the Bronx has become this hellhole, and so they consider the people who live there an infestation, and they're sending not a robot, but they're sending this, task force or whatever to go in and clear out people from the Bronx and just basically, murder them wholesale, so that they can then raise the Bronx and turn it into some big, you know fancy high-rise-ish community, like whatever. And
Yeah.
so it's the exact same fucking premise, which is hilarious. And I'm kind of curious to see when Escape 2000 was made, because that's interesting. But yeah, it's the exact same premise except just with no robots. And
That's so
it's
funny.
just really funny. But they even
Robots make
have
the
they even have
difference.
a model of what they're gonna do, like same fucking thing, like it's the exact same.
Cool. Your memorable and favorite part?
Um, my favorite part is anything to do with Kurtwood Smith.
Yeah,
He's just,
that man stole the show.
well, it's like it's crazy how he just is like, you know what? I'm going hard. I'm going hard with this guy. Like, and I really only know him from Now This and from that 70s show. I haven't even seen that 90s show.
Mhm.
To be honest, I didn't even think that was real. I thought that was just a fever dream that I had one day. But
You don't really need to watch it.
Yeah.
he is, I don't want to say he's electric because he's not. He's too slimy for that. But like I love the scene when he goes in and he's like he got his ass kicked by Robocop and he was very clearly like about to kill him and he's like he goes into Dick Jones and he's like, I love how he like instantly is calling him Dick Jones, but he's putting a lot of emphasis on Dick,
Yeah.
calling him
Dick Jones.
asshole. Like he goes in, he like sticks his gum on the receptionist's name tag
Nameplate, yeah.
and then says like, "Hey, you want to fuck later?" And then basically just like walks away without getting an answer.
Dude, he strolls in like this clean ass like suit, but
Yeah.
he still has like all these
Oh yeah.
scars on his head. And my one of my favorite scenes with him is the when he's talking to the was it like the oh the Coke manufacturer, and the dude's wine is just sitting there, and he just dips his fingers in it and just like smells it, and then the guy drinks it. I'm just like,
Why
Yeah,
did he?
he's like, all
Yeah,
right.
why did he do that? Like to like clear it. 'Cause it has to be like a cocaine thing, right? Because
Yeah,
they're
probably.
all constantly doing cocaine.
I
So
mean, I thought he was just doing it to like just
Yeah, I thought he
be
was being
extra
a dick.
slimy.
oh, he was
Yeah,
definitely being a dick, but I'm wondering why he did it.
Yeah.
'Cause, like if he was gonna be a dick to his wine, wouldn't he just like spit in it or so? You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like there's
Yeah.
like way more disrespectful shit you could have done to the wine. That's why it makes me think that there was a purpose to him, like because
Right.
it's alcohol, it's wine, it's like flavor of some kind. So I wonder if it had like some way of like
maybe
maybe
there's coke in the wine.
you know how
Maybe.
the first thing that I thought of is you know how people tells you you can smell coffee beans to like reset
Like,
your.
yeah, like reset your not palate, but
I thought kind of the same thing. Maybe he was like sniffing the wine, like the alcohol maybe had like some kind of like so he could do more coke, basically. You know, like he's a deviant. He's like I don't give a fuck about anything. I just want to constantly sniff cocaine all day. That and uh going back to that scene where he was with Dick Jones and he goes in and he's very obviously pissed, right? And he keeps calling him Dick Jones. And then the second that Dick Jones is like, oh, you know, I have this big grand plan that you're going to benefit greatly from.
mhm.
You better shut the fuck up, basically, you know,
Yeah.
paraphrasing. And then he like code switches like instantly. He
Mhm.
calls him Richard. He's like, I think we can find some, you know, deal,
Yeah,
Richard.
he's like he's walking out, and then Dick Jones says that, and then he literally just like backtracks like backwards, and then sits on the couch, and he's like,
I don't know. It's just it's cool to see him like be that person in that 70s show where he is like he's so
Yeah.
militant and like this devout dad, and then in this he's just a real piece of
Well,
shit.
it's kind of like the difference between saying what's his bucket as the dad and like what was it, Malcolm in the Middle or whatever, and then Walter White.
Also
Like,
pretty similar, yeah, same vein for sure.
Yeah.
yeah, that makes me think that RoboCop and that '70s show are because I mean both of them are in Michigan.
yeah, it's the future of that 70s show. Yeah.
Moniker change
Confirmed.
Red Foreman.
Shared universe confirmed.
Right? That's so funny.
Red Foreman just he settled down, got a new identity.
Just became a deviant fuck.
I do love though too that like he's just I mean even he is just a random asshole for no reason. Like when that dude in his crew gets the 6,000 sucks, the 6,000 SUX, and he's
Yeah,
like,
go
yeah,
ahead.
fuck your car. I'm the only one in this crew that gets this car. Fuck you.
Yeah.
I love
For
how that
no
was like a
reason.
joke in
Yeah.
like like during that like interrogation scene or the hostage situation, and he's like, yeah, I'll give you 6,000 sucks. And then it turned out to be a real car later, right?
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
actually I was like
I'll
my
give you 6,000 sucks.
yeah.
How about that?
Well,
Like,
that's
I want
immediately what I thought.
6,500.
That's how many it
Of course
takes to
he's
get to the
fucking
center of
with-
a Tootsie Pop.
Right.
Yeah, 6,000.
Before we get into trivia, since you're watching us on YouTube, please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit the little bell icon. We want to get into as many nerdy ears as possible, and that's the best way to do that. We have merch, redbubble.com/nerdcourt podcast. Get our sayings and logos on anything from t-shirts to mugs to shower curtains to whatever your heart desires.
Law balls.
We've partnered with Dubby.gg, and use promo code NERDCORP at checkout to get any 10% off anything site-wide. If you love us and want to support what we do, consider supporting us on PayPal, paypal.me/nerdcourt podcast. We want to have the best loot, give you the best giveaways, and give you the best nerdy experience, and that is the best way to help us do that. So on to trivia. I just grabbed off of IMDb.
Before you continue, I want to pose a question to the boys.
Go on.
Ann Lewis, baddie or nah?
I'll shoot a bad one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah, I was like, dude, halfway through the movie, I was like, bro, leave your
By
child for this one.
by the way, one thing that I was actually kind of proud of them for, in a way, was with all the very heavy sexism that was in the show,
Oh yeah,
they actually had her straight up in just a normal ass costume. Like she wasn't wearing like a cute, sexy,
she's still
bulletproof vest. Like they didn't try and like slutify it or anything. Like
And
it
she
was,
was still kind of hot,
and
dude.
she
oh
was
Like,
yeah,
still a baddie. And she
oh
was
of
yeah.
still
course.
that.
But like I was actually impressed that they like didn't do something stupid like that.
Yeah.
And I love how, just pulling up IMDb really quick, um, Dana Hurley, he played just the old man. Like that was
Yeah,
his
that's
name in
his
the
name.
movie.
Oh,
Yeah, the
Yeah.
old man.
Like not like Mr. Whatever. It's just the old man.
CEO of OCP or,
Yeah.
nope, just the old man. So most shots of RoboCop and the police car show him getting out or preparing to get in. Peter Weller didn't fit into the police car in full costume. When he needed to be in the car, he wore the top part of the costume and sat in his underwear to maintain the illusion that RoboCop wears the entire suit while inside the car. Most shots show his robotic feet exiting first.
I love it, dude. That's great.
Yeah, which I appreciate because I mean, like, it's not like anybody would have noticed, like, hey, they're
Oh,
not showing his feet in the car, but still, like, it's nice that they were like, you know what, let's go that extra mile to like make
Right.
sure that people see his robotic feet so that, we're maintaining that illusion.
you know, some fucking insufferable asshole had that opinion though. There, it's like, well, we never see his feet.
It's true.
We never see his feet in the car, so he's probably just riding around in his underwear.
That's
Like,
so juvenile.
back in the day, it was probably like, some guy had that fucking opinion, dog.
Oh
Probably.
yeah, dude, nerds were probably worse back in the day because they only had their whole group or whatever D&D tournament they were fucking magic.
Actually, they don't ever show his feet.
Yeah.
Actually.
um, this one's crazy. The RoboCop suit was so hot and heavy that Peter Weller was losing 3 pounds a day from water loss
Jesus
until
Christ.
they eventually installed an air conditioner in the suit,
Oh,
which I wonder what that entailed back then. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that would have been some sort of monstrosity, I feel
Yeah.
like.
jury rig, yeah.
Yeah.
That's like the temperature regulation coats that we have like nowadays,
Yeah,
where it
yeah.
charges up and you can, it's like they did that in RoboCop in the 80s, dude.
I just want to know what bit of trivia explains why what's his name? Peter what?
Weller.
Weller.
Peter Weller. Why does he do the thing when he's in
Uh,
Robo?
yeah, I don't
Why did they
know.
give him why what part of the mentality of RoboCop includes
That
looking out your lips
You
to
know what? That was just one of the
accept every
specs for RoboCop. They wanted him to have full pouty lips.
Yeah.
That's
I'm here to suck your dick.
6,000 sucks.
Six up. I
6,000
have
sucks,
arrived.
engage.
6,000 sucks.
He just starts going towards the perp.
He
Glock,
shows
Glock,
up to
Glock,
the
Glock.
mayor's office and he's like, I am here to administer the 6,000 sucks.
My original purpose was much darker.
Well, yeah, I mean, because he's all metal. They want him to have something soft and supple,
Right.
and the only thing showing are his lips. So there you go.
I thought I was getting a car. There is no car. Mm, mm.
I will now enact Directive 69.
Prepare thy penis. Glock, 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 Glock.
and then instead he shoots it off.
That's so funny.
So it's like, and that would be really funny too if every time he sees a penis, a new directive pops up, and he has to shoot the penis. Like as soon as he sees a penis, that's it overrides all of his other directives.
It has an extra option underneath that says suck.
Would you like to shoot or
Or
suck?
stuck.
And he has this
Your
internal
move,
struggle
creep.
every time. Oh, and it just shows him like switching between the two options. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, that's good shit, dude.
That's so fucking funny.
Blow bow cop.
Roblo
No.
cop.
Roblo cop.
Roblo
I
cop.
feel like it should be Roblo cop.
There you go.
That's so fucking
Enacting
stupid.
Warcraft 6000.
Blow bro cop.
Roblo cock.
Blowjob cop.
Very different movie though.
We're children.
Very different movie.
Nick, you're up.
Okay, give me a second.
Yeah, hold on. This shit fucking got my
I was gonna say that shit fucking got him.
blow bro cop.
Are we just going in order, or can we
Yeah.
just like okay?
Oh.
So originally the screenplay had been offered to and rejected by pretty much every big director in Hollywood before Paul Verhoeven got a hold of it. He received it while on holiday in France and threw it away after reading the first pages, convinced it was just a dumb action movie. After going for a swim, he found his wife, Martine, reading the script and told her, "Well, that's a piece of shit." However, she had read all the way through and disagreed, saying that the story was layered with many satirical and allegorical elements, which convinced him to direct the film.
Huh. So we thank Mrs. Verhoeven then.
Yeah,
Interesting.
he bought that for $1.
Yeah.
Do you remember that one part where like because it usually it just shows him saying that, but there is one where he says it and then he does his own like crazy cackle as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Even he gets a cackle. Everyone gets a cackle.
You get a cackle. You get a cackle.
Check under your seat.
There's a cackle under there.
Nancy Allen first arrived on set when Paul Verhoeven was shooting the deliberate cheesy sitcom It's Not My Problem, which appears on television screens throughout the film. Allen was initially horrified to think that she had signed on to make a film with an incompetent director.
Which that's probably my favorite piece of trivia. Like she sees them filming this cheesy, awful commercial, thinking that's the movie, and goes, "Oh my God, what have I gotten myself into?"
That is not my job.
You just gotta be like, this is a paying gig.
Right?
Like,
Right.
it's a paying gig, you know.
Like, can you imagine the sigh of relief when she figured out that wasn't the movie, though? Like,
Yeah.
oh God.
Oh, this movie doesn't suck.
Oh, thank God. Because the hands of the Robocop suit were made of foam rubber, the car keys would bounce off Peter Weller's hand every time he attempted to catch them. The production took up to 50 takes and an entire day's worth of filming before finally getting the shot right.
No, I got it. Come on.
Well,
Go again.
I was reading that and they could have just threw the keys to him, and even if they did bounce out of his hands, they could have just cut like right
they could have done a cut.
They could have just cut to him holding them.
You
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
exactly.
Like, and just doing like the motion, like.
But I mean, in the movie, like they throw it to him and he walks past and he just catches them and keeps going. So like, I guess it
is a cool shot.
Yeah, it worked, and I'm glad they got that.
It's the opposite of what happened in Alien 4. If y'all can remember, if y'all even know that, thank you. There's a shot in Alien 4 where Sigourney Weaver does this just like backhanded and sinks it, right? But everyone on set was telling her, don't do this. Like, we'll just, we can digitally alter it to like make it look like you make it in one shot. And she's like, no, I'm going to make the shot. and then she does like first take, sinks it.
Oh yeah,
Damn.
yeah, yeah.
Just sinks it.
That's crazy.
And it's like the same, it's this, it's the opposite.
Well,
Sigourney Weaver, don't do that.
Sigourney Weaver.
Sigourney Weaver.
Sigourney Weaver.
Why you make that back shot so effortlessly?
Well,
How
and
you
this
take this
next
back shot so effortlessly?
this oh god. This next one probably has a little bit to do with that last one. Realizing that the film was running behind schedule and over budget because they spent an entire day and 50 takes on the car key catch. Um, Paul Verhoeven and producer John Davison purposely did not film one crucial scene, Officer Murphy's death. So when production wrapped, they went back to Los Angeles and grimly informed the executives that Murphy's death had not been filmed. After watching the footage they did film, the execs were so astonished by the aesthetics and performances that they gave him more money, and then they filmed the scene in a redecorated warehouse in Los Angeles. Which, can you imagine this movie without Murphy's death?
That would be crazy. Like
No,
I don't think it would have any. It would have that kind of
it wouldn't have
impact.
any. It wouldn't have any. Is the word I'm looking for levity or brevity?
Uh, Neither,
Yeah,
because
gravity.
levity is, lightheartedness, and brevity is shortness. So it would be.
Short. Oh, I'm thinking of like impactful, I guess. But I
Um,
thought I was using the right word. Where would I be without you?
are you thinking gravitas?
Maybe, yeah, maybe that's the one.
Would it not just be gravity?
I mean, yeah,
It,
you could say
the
that.
movie wouldn't hold the same gravity. Um, Director Paul Verhoeven and Rob Bottin, the film's special effects designer, clashed repeatedly before and during production over the design and makeup of the Robocop character. What they argued most about was the scene where Murphy takes off his helmet. Bottin wanted the scene to be filmed in a darkened area, fearing that harsh light would reveal too much of the makeup effects. Verhoeven wanted the scene to be filmed as brightly as possible, stating that the director of photography, Jost Vacano, maybe, would be able to light it properly without revealing anything. Bottin said that it nearly came to him. Oh, skipped a line. Bottin said that it nearly came to exchanging blows with Verhoeven, but in the end, the director got his way, so Bottin refused to talk to him anymore for the remainder of production.
I'm
Dude,
not
these
talking to
two
you.
almost threw down on
Well, and then
set.
they would have had that RoboCop character have to come in and separate him, and
Give them each a couple 6,000 sucks.
yeah.
Um,
Bro.
However, at the premiere, both men were so impressed with how the scene had turned out that they instantly forgave each other. Bottin, who had even vowed to never work again with Verhoeven, happily accepted the offer to work on Verhoeven's next project, Total
Oh, cool.
Recall.
Interesting.
Dude, I love Total Recall too. I think we need
Dude,
to do
Yeah,
one on that one
we
too.
really do.
Total
Like,
Recall's great.
I
And more
think
titties.
eventually we should do all of these like crazy old action, like Commando,
Yeah,
fucking
dude.
Oh,
the original
Commando.
Predator. Like,
I remember like we had back in the day, on a VHS tape. We had recorded Commando, but then we were trying to also record something else and we couldn't find a tape. So like in the middle of Commando, like you're watching like I don't know, 35, 40 minutes of Commando, and then all of a sudden it cuts and goes to the Simpsons music video for Bart doing the Bart Man. Goes back to Commando.
I want that tape. I want
I
that
wish I
tape.
still had that tape. I mean,
Dude.
who knows what happened to it? But it's so good.
I would pay so much money just to watch that. Dude, command. Oh, that's one of my favorite like old Schwarzenegger movies.
Oh yeah, dude.
Like when he kicks the dude into the steam pipe and he gets like burnt and he just goes, let off some steam. Like
Such
so
good
good.
one-liners.
Dude, those movies are so fun.
Yeah.
In Sacramento, California, a robbery suspect fled into a darkened movie theater to escape pursuing police. He became so engrossed in the movie, which was playing on screen, that he failed to notice that police had evacuated all other patrons from the theater. When the lights flipped on, this one man was taken into custody.
That's incredible,
What
dude.
in
Like,
the world? Hey,
It's a
at
good.
least he got to at least he got to see it
yeah,
I
before
mean,
dude,
they
he
let
like
him watch the movie, apparently.
Like, I'm gonna think about
cops come in and he's like, "Wait, have you guys seen this movie yet?" Like,
the whole time. What are you
he's just grabbing like the empty popcorn and shit, and he's just like, "Yo, man, this movie rocks."
oh shit. Oh.
Oh, fuck. All
It's
right.
the same guy that RoboCop like catches outside of the gas station. It's the same guy.
I mean,
Yeah.
I really hope one of the cops said, "You're coming with me, dead or alive."
Your move, creep.
How ironic.
And then he
How
and then
ironic.
he leans into the other cop and he's like, they say that in the movie.
He said the line.
He said the thing. He said the thing.
Because the other cop hasn't seen it yet. So he's like, yeah, they say that in the movie.
The character Bob Morton was originally conceived as a stereotypical corporate executive, arrogant, unpleasant, and unlikable. However, when Miguel Ferrer signed on and gave his performance as an amiable and characteristic individual, Ed,
Charismatic.
oh yeah, what did I say?
Now you open the door. Now he's never gonna stop.
You said characteristic.
Yeah,
Oh,
you've invited him in like a fucking vampire. Now he's
yeah.
never every single time. Every single time.
However, when Miguel Ferrer signed on and gave his performance as an amiable and charismatic individual, Edward Neumeier and Paul Verhoeven realized that the audience would likely start sympathizing with the character, and Bob Morton was rewritten to become the somewhat more pleasant individual that he is in the movie.
That's awesome.
Steenburgen.
Steenberg.
Steenburgen.
Verhoeven.
Yeah, we're gonna call him Paul EV from now on.
I think it'd be funny if we all like pronounced it a different way every time we said it.
That would be really good.
Verhoeven.
And then one of us just enunciates it with some weird Verhoeven.
Someone puts like an umlaut over the O and shit.
Hinga dinga durgan Verhoeven.
Leif Erikson Day. Paul Verhoeven Day. Hingadingadurgan.
So Peter Weller said one of his favorite memories of his film career was filming the drug bust sequence. While filming the sequence, Weller was listening to Peter Gabriel's song Red Rain on his Walkman inside the Robocop helmet as he exchanged gunfire with various bad guys.
That's so dope,
He's
dude.
just jamming out.
This song really quick. Hold on.
That'd be funny if it was a really slow romantic song.
Lady in red.
Took a second.
It's just
Dude, this is not the song I would be listening to if I was gunning down gang members. But yeah, what an interesting song.
I mean, it is a very 80s like song with a pretty energetic beat anyway. I mean,
Yeah.
the song's not very energetic, but the beat is.
Go to
So I
bed.
could see it.
Yeah, I just want to go to bed and have like crazy dreams. That's what the fucking song just a very Phil Collins, very just ethereal, just like
Hey, don't you bring Phil Collins into this. He had already Peter Gabriel was out of Genesis at this point. So come on.
same thing. They're in
Yeah.
the same band. Okay.
Yeah, they were in the same band. Yeah.
Okay.
wasn't he the singer?
I mean, I assume so.
Or
I don't-
I know
I don't-
that Phil Collins sang too.
Yeah, I just know that Peter Gabriel, like I never really listened to him back then, but
Wouldn't be caught fucking dead listening to this. I'm not gonna lie, fellas.
Well, you weren't Peter Weller in 1987, so
yeah.
Nick?
I'd be listening to like Suffocate or some shit like
It would
that.
be really funny if Peter Weller still to this day when he wanted to get hyped up for something, threw on Peter Gabriel Redman.
Okay, here we go. Hopefully, this will answer some of our burning questions.
This is a cool one.
The repeated line, I'd buy that for $1, comes from Cyril M. Kornbluth's short story, The Marching Morons, which presents a similarly cynical view of an over-commercialized future that's desensitized to violence and war. A radio game show in that story uses the line, I'd buy that for $0.25 as its signature phrase. Didn't really
Damn,
answer
so
any
it-
questions.
But it's deeper than we thought it was.
Yeah.
God damn.
That dude.
I like Googled it, and one of the little AI synopsis things that came up was like him saying he'd buy that moment for $1, and I'm like, that's stupid. Like,
That's why AI doesn't fucking know anything.
yeah,
Idiot.
In the hostage scene, as RoboCop is walking towards the room where former councilman is holding the mayor hostage, the infrared heat vision mode was actually executed using fluorescent body paint on the nude actors and a black light. Paulie V says that he thought that the technique would be cheaper than getting an actual infrared spectrometer camera, which he was definitely right.
I mean,
That's
especially
crazy.
back then.
That's so cool. It's funny. Imagine one of them. Imagine
It's
the
a,
show now.
it's a good thing RoboCop didn't shoot any dicks off.
yeah.
I'm surprised his like heat vision didn't like set, dick shot.
Must engage directive
Bam.
69. Then he just malfunctions.
Yeah.
Gluck, gluck, gluck.
Well, yeah, he'd probably malfunction because he didn't know which one to suck first.
Right.
69. I cannot blow.
Dude, many dicks.
I cannot suck the dick of a OCP member. Because they're not gay.
You're fired. Thank you.
Glock,
You glock, 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 and he like falls.
Just Barbie stiffs down the fucking.
well, and he's RoboCop. He can gluck, gluck, gluck forever. He doesn't
Right.
get tired. He
There's
doesn't.
no stamina.
Oh,
You just gotta plug in a can of baby food into his ass. That's where he gets his sustenance. He'll go.
or he also gets sustenance from the baby batter.
Right.
Dude, that fucking shot when they're like explaining how he eats and it like
Oh,
is out
And then the one guy is like, "Oh, this is good."
yeah,
like,
he starts
it's really-
chowing down.
want
Like,
some?
Tastes like baby food.
It's like baby food. Fucking weird,
Like, bro, you should have gotten shot in the board meeting.
Right.
And that's the same guy that like he got like super happy when the guy got shot at the end. He's like,
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Where he was like,
he's like the black nerd.
yeah, he's like getting up and he was like, oh, shit, this is going to be dope.
And every time that like
It's over here over
somebody would say something in the beginning in the board meeting, he was like the hardest clapper too. Like,
oh
was
yeah, dude.
he was probably just the yes man. And then when Dick Jones got shot, he was like, I'm free.
Well, and it was funny though because like at first when like the first time they're in the board meeting and Bob starts clapping his ass off when nobody else is clapping, like he's like he elbows the dude and is like, "Clap, motherfucker! Don't make me look
Yeah.
stupid."
Yeah.
And from then on, he was like, "God damn, yeah!"
The shootout at the cocaine factory was not originally intended to be so fast-paced. The automatic guns used in the scene kept malfunctioning during filming. Most camera shots did not provide more than 3 seconds of usable footage because most guns were usually jammed by that time. This necessitated quick cuts during editing, which proved to be advantageous for the scene.
Yeah, it's just
Lot-
him
lots of
like
gun
just
shots.
making work of all the cocaine workers. Like,
Yep.
it was great.
This movie has lots of gratuitous gunshot scenes.
Oh,
where
yeah.
it's just a scene of like just a couple of assault rifles just firing. Yeah. Oh yeah, lots of like overreactive like I'm being shot.
Flailing.
Yeah, good stuff.
So director Paul Verhoeven credits James Cameron's The Terminator with the success of RoboCop. Orion Pictures, the production company of RoboCop, was initially founded with the purpose of making quality movies instead of profitable blockbusters. Shortage of money forced them to produce The Terminator, which they saw as a low budget production that might make some quick profit. But since this was not the type of movie they liked to be associated with, the studio did very little marketing for the film. That's interesting. When Terminator became an unexpected hit, the studio was convinced that sci-fi could be profitable, so RoboCop was quickly greenlit, and Verhoeven asked to direct as he had just made Flesh and Blood for Orion. He also adopted the fast editing pace from The Terminator, and contrary to that movie, the studio announced it in a wide marketing campaign. They even used the main title theme from The Terminator in the trailer for RoboCop.
Dude,
Yeah, guaranteed it's the dun 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 dun.
Terminator 2
Oh
is
yeah.
in my all-time top movies. Like I
Yeah, dude.
fucking love that movie so
I watched
much.
that movie so many fucking times, dude.
Yeah.
So many
I
times.
I went through on one of my streams, I was like, let's just do like a movie night, like whatever's on YouTube, you know. And
Mhm.
so we went through and watched like I watched at least the first two Terminators, and I forgot that scene where um she's like I can't remember who she's in the hotel with, but she's just like having sex with him. And I was like, yeah, I like had to like minimize it. I'm like, sorry guys.
Goy.
But yeah, Terminator 2, like so good.
Women be having sex.
Women be having
You
sex.
know, I love that.
Women be fucking.
By the way, I love that people can up and down vote these bits of trivia. Like, why are people downvoting bits of trivia? Like, that's fucking hilarious.
It's not
Right.
true. This
I
isn't
hate
true.
I
Uh-uh.
hate this. I hate this trivia. I wish I never knew this.
I'm erasing this
I
from my memory now.
I believe that he did fit in the car with his whole suit.
Could you imagine if there were comments on these like on YouTube, just people
Oh, that
getting
would be
mad?
gold. Oh my God, I wish there were.
Um, special effects were generated with a Commodore Amiga
I believe
computer.
it. I
That's
believe it.
wild. I
That's
had I
crazy.
had an Amiga, and that is fucking wild.
I believe it.
The next bit of trivia has one downvote.
Well, and that's what's funny is the Amiga one has 11 downvotes. Like, do people hate the Commodore Amiga computer?
Man,
Like, fuck this.
fuck the Commodore Amiga. That's why this movie sucks. Because you made
Nintendo
it on a
supremacy.
bitch ass
Or
computer.
maybe they just hate special effects in general. Like, who
Yeah.
knows?
I have a Nintendo. Fuck Commodore.
Dude, there's one of these trivias further down that has zero downvotes and 69 helpful votes.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
funny.
sponsored by Robocop. Paul Verhoeven admitted that while reading the screenplay for the first time, he had difficulties with the English language, as he is Dutch. So he needed a dictionary for all the words he didn't understand. Even so, he was often puzzled by the use of American slang. For instance, he did not understand why the Afro American gang members would call Caucasian members brother, even though they weren't related.
But
That's
he is not, in fact, your brother.
why you call
But
him
you are
brother.
not related.
That's like a Flula Borg
Yeah.
moment. Like,
Yeah.
why is
Why
he
is
say?
why is you calling him your brother?
And by the way, with him being Dutch, my pronunciation probably is somewhat close
Yeah,
to his name.
very Julian.
Dude, there's this
A knee,
scene,
a knee.
there's this video I saw on YouTube. I think it's a short, but it's a video of like Japanese VTubers playing GTA 5, and they're playing the scene where, Lamar roasts Franklin, and at the
Uh,
end when he goes, mm-hmm,
yeah.
and all the Japanese VTuber girls are like re-singing that, like
Uh,
not knowing what it means.
It's very cute.
Yeah,
he says it's very cute.
they get the pass.
They're like, hee.
The Robocop suit was designed by Rob Bottin and his team. However, the production team wasn't satisfied with the first design and kept changing it and putting additions to it for months, based on influences from Japanese comic books. Ultimately, nothing seemed to work, so they went back to what was pretty much Botton's original design. This caused considerable delays, and by the time the suit was completed, the crew had already been shooting and idling around for 2 weeks, filming shots that didn't require the suit. It arrived on the day that the first RoboCop scene was pushed back to, so Peter Weller had no time to rehearse in it. It took 11 hours for Botton's people to fit Weller into the suit. Jesus Christ, 11 hours?
That's wild.
And when it was done, he found that all of his mime exercises were now useless because he needed time to get used to the suit and to perform as a robot in it. After tempers flared, production was halted for a few days so that Weller and his mime coach, Moni Yakim, could learn how to move in the suit.
Yeah, that's crazy. Give the man some time to like get used to shit.
Right?
Yeah.
11 hours, dude? Holy shit.
That is wild. Originally, Clarence Boddicker was the lone villain in the movie, but the filmmakers decided to capitalize on the political commentary by making Dick Jones, as played by Ronnie Cox, the arch villain pulling the strings. As a result, the two central storylines, RoboCop hunting Boddicker and the politics of the OCP, converge in the finale. Which, man, that would have been a much more hollow,
Hmm.
unsatisfying film,
Yeah.
you know? Like that's it. That was a really important and brilliant thing to
Like
do.
stereotypical, like,
Yeah,
80s, like,
yeah.
there's a guy, there's a puppet master pulling the strings, and
Right, right, right.
it's the higher up in the company, he's got this
You know,
lowly henchman working for him.
back when we knew that rich people were the enemy.
Yeah. When in full Robocop costume, Peter Weller would remain in character between takes, only responding to director Paul Verhoeven's instructions when properly addressed as Robo. Verhoeven found this too funny to take seriously and dropped this after a couple of weeks.
All
Hey,
right,
Robo.
seriously, enough of that shit.
You're good. Now you're good, dog.
Just an extended bit.
That's so funny.
That's great. He tried to go method, and the director was like, could you stop?
He's
Don't
like, I
do it.
can't do this. I can't do this. Can't do this, Weller.
In a 2013 interview,
Hmm.
Edward Newmeyer reflected on how the film's script was starting to play into reality. We are now, quote, we are now living in a world that I was proposing in RoboCop 1987, how big corporations will, quote, take care of us and how they won't, end quote.
Like, how crazy is that? Because I mean, I'm sure it seemed prescient at the time, but even more so now. Like, it like creating that movie, you would be like, "Am I a fucking Nostradamus? What the fuck?
Right. Like,
I'm a prophet."
Just as the world's unfolding, he's just like, guys,
hey, so
we
y'all are
we
seeing this too, right? Like,
didn't we do this like
Yeah,
30 years ago?
for real.
Have dick sucking cop robot.
dick
Where is my
sucking robot.
RoboCop?
God damn it. Kurtwood Smith originally auditioned for the role of Dick Jones, and when he first learned he had been cast, he thought that that was the role he had gotten. Not until later did he find out he would be playing Clarence Boddicker. Later still, he discovered the reason. Being Dutch, director Paul Verhoeven had grown up near the Holocaust and thought that when wearing glasses, Smith resembled Heinrich Himmler. Smith apparently agreed with the idea, stating that a bigger, more menacing villain would come across as someone who could merely be outsmarted, while his character's glasses made him look smarter and therefore more of a threat.
Solid
Oh my
reasoning, brother.
God, dude.
That's
When you wear your glasses, you kind of look like a Nazi.
Yeah,
Just saying.
one of the Nazis.
Yeah.
yeah. Like, that's wild.
Hide the Jews.
Edward Neumeier, however it's pronounced, came up with the idea of RoboCop after he helped out on the set of Blade Runner 1982, which was about cops hunting synthetic humans in the future. So he kind of just flipped it. Intrigued, Neumeier turned the scenario around into a future where a cop looking like a robot would be hunting human criminals.
That's
That's
cool.
pretty cool. Yeah.
So this one's really, really funny to me actually. So Kurtwood Smith's wife, Joan Perkel, has a small role as Dick Jones's secretary, Barbara, who he flirts with before a meeting. That
That's
was his
cool.
fucking
So they
wife.
probably did fuck later.
Yeah, yeah.
Hell
Like imagine like you're acting, but you're like also like talking to your wife.
Yeah, yeah,
Like, and she has to pretend to be disgusted with you.
yeah.
Yeah, for real.
That's
And
funny.
internally, she's like, "Yeah, we're gonna fuck."
Yeah, that's crazy.
Oh, we're gonna go all night long, Kurtwood.
The 6,000 sucks.
that big, all
Rolling
that
into my
fucking head of
driveway
yours,
tonight.
Right,
massive fucking cranium.
right. That guy has a big brain.
Yeah, me too.
Anyway,
Is it me now?
yeah.
Writers and producers were concerned that cops would be offended by the portrayal in the movie. On the contrary, they loved it. They especially enjoyed the scene where Robocop was throwing Boddicker through panes of glass window while concurrently reading Boddicker an abbreviated rendition of his Miranda rights. So,
Yeah.
no shock that cops love the scenes where cops are beating the shit out of people.
Right.
That's
It's
crazy.
a
No
beating the
surprise.
shit out of a white guy, no less.
Right? This is our last bit of trivia. One unused idea for a scene was to have RoboCop go to his old house where his family would still live. He meets
Oh,
his son, but the boy does not recognize him. The only one who does is his old dog, similar to the Odyssey, where Odysseus returns home and isn't recognized by anyone except his dog. The producers liked the idea, but Paul Verhoeven decided not to shoot the scene for being a bit too sentimental. The scene would later be used in the 2014 remake. This
oh,
idea was also used in RoboCop 2, 1990, as he passes in front of the house in a police car and his former wife recognizes him.
damn.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And
Further,
there's a ton of other trivia. So, go if you're interested, go to IMDb. Like there's
There's so much. There's a
so
fuck
much.
ton. So
And
yeah,
don't downvote
So, I
anything.
was gonna say some of it's helpful, some of
Yeah.
it apparently not.
don't be a dick. Don't be a dick and downvote stuff. It's real. It's
Oh,
facts.
dude. Okay. I just have to read this one really quick because it has 414 upvotes. In 2013, 26 years after the movie's release, Detroit declared bankruptcy.
Damn. Damn.
Like
Big
the
old
whole
slam on
city.
Detroit.
Like, we don't have any money.
Maybe if we had some of that RoboCop money.
Right. So as always with these movies that we watch, we do a rating system. One being the worst, five being the best. What are you guys' ratings on the movie?
I can't remember. Like, I remember enjoying the movie the first time I saw it, but like watching it again and like just like scene by scene having all of the like, oh yeah, I remember this part like coming into my head just was incredible. So, I mean, for that reason only, I'm giving it a five. Like I thought it was an amazing movie, and I
Hmm.
fucking thought it was even better the second time around.
In honor of Angela, who is no longer, in the episodes with us, at least for the time being, I'm gonna give this an A plus plus. Um,
I thought you were gonna say who's no longer with us. Like,
yeah, I don't know, Cole. You should probably be aware of this too. Angela's dead.
oh,
Um, we'll be having a memorial. No, like
gotta lay off the weed.
I thought
There's
she was
someone in my
here.
house right now. I don't know who she is. Hey, you telling me this for the first time?
But no, like I mean, the movie's so great, and it is so adept at putting forward these like the ideas of like, hey, we've got this all not apocalyptic necessarily, but pretty damn close. This society that is just,
Ruined.
yeah, just ruined by rich people who want everything, and but it's so subtle, like
Yeah.
it's there and it's the whole point, but it's so not heavy-handed, which I mean, I don't mind when it's, at the forefront either, but I like that they do it in a way that is obviously there and understood and very readable, but still like couched in this crazy violence and
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
technology, and it's just really well done. It's just so well done.
Oh yeah. Cool.
So first time, no, first time watcher. Um, I obviously wasn't alive when it came out, and I never had any real reason to go back to watch it other than curiosity, and that's pretty
Mm,
much
right.
or in this case obligation. But I really enjoyed it. Which is crazy because like I put it on at 2:40 in the morning. I didn't fall asleep until it was over, and I like kind of struggled to go to sleep after because I was like, damn, I was like kind of riding a high. I was like, God, I like really enjoyed it. Um,
Did
I
you
like
did you struggle to go to sleep? Because we were told otherwise last night.
yeah, that's a funny story. I can't tell you what happened. I went into my room because I was just like my water's in there, so I went in there to go get it, and I sat down, and that's all I remember. And then I remember Angela coming in and like knocking me over and being like, "Are you okay? Are you fine?"
Hmm.
And I
Yeah,
apparently I didn't say anything, so I like really concerned her.
dude, she
Oh.
comes back to the Discord call and she's like, he is like passed out. Like not nodding off, but he is asleep.
So I called him, right? Like I like Facebook called him and left him a message. But since we were all on the Discord and I had Discord on my phone, it recorded zero audio. So it was just me drunkenly just telling him, "Hey man, you that 4-year-old magic ass under the table, you a bitch." And fucking nothing, none of
Just
that recorded.
silence.
Yeah. None of that recorded.
Yeah, I woke up at 1:30 and Angela was still playing with her brother, and I was like, "Oh, damn, my night is just gone and fucked." Like I fucking hate that, dude. Like I can't trust myself like at
Hmm.
all because like I swear to God, all I did was sit down to like, and I got caught up on something on my phone, and it doesn't matter, bro. I'll be like in this position, like reading something on my phone.
They're just like a,
You laugh and you think that but like it's like borderline fucking narcolepsy, dog. Like I'm
yeah.
when I have to go to sleep now. Now. And then I woke up, I woke up and I watched this movie and I thought it was fantastic. Um I don't want to give it a 5 just because like but just because like I don't really, if I thought about it and watched it again, I'm sure like I could find like something, but like this movie is just like it's so fun to the point where like it kind of pushes it into that category of like who fucking cares about any
Yeah.
like little, you know, we can sit here and we can complain about how ED-209 doesn't look fucking good at all, like ever.
Right.
Like it, except for that one part where it just got done blowing that one guy apart, and it's like a I think it's just a statue of it, but there's like smoke billowing.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, it looks kind of good there, but
Yeah.
that was practical effects. Yeah, we can sit here and we can nitpick and complain until the cows come home, but it's still a fun fucking movie at the end of the day. And
Oh
there's
yeah.
even the dumb stuff is like, dude, if I've watched this kid when I was a kid, like when I was like 13 or 14, I would have been fucking obsessed with this movie.
Yeah.
The only thing that it's a major nitpick, but like the only thing that even slightly rubbed me the wrong way was when they're doing the chase scene, and it's right after they get back behind the van and they shoot the shit out of the car, and there are the bullet holes in the windshield, and then they come around to the other side of the van and the windshield's fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Continuity, motherfuckers, ever heard of it?
Or there's that part where the one guy in the van, like, very clearly unloads 2 shotgun shots into the windshield.
Oh,
and
yeah,
they're
yeah.
fine.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
okay,
Well,
so he's right there, and now he's dead, right? He's dead. No, he's fine.
No.
Yeah, there's so many moments where like this is insanely fucking reckless. Like there at that same scene, like right before, he's like, "Hey, give me your gun," and he like he like goes out the window and starts doing a Kimbo fucking. It's like what cop is gonna fucking do?
Yeah.
You did this on like I immediately was thinking of like, oh, some dickhead trying to do this in like another, like a more modern version, and their partner being like, what the fuck are you doing? What are you doing? This isn't a fun. You're not Robocop. Get in the fucking car. Like. But
and I don't want to throw continuity people under the bus, because who knows, maybe they did catch it and were like, yo, director, and he was like, fuck that, who cares?
Yeah, that's not a big
it's
deal.
5 seconds.
That's not a big deal.
We're not spending
Bro,
more money to redo that.
shooting around for 2 weeks now. Just fucking go with it.
We're not
Right.
going to replace the windshield that we just ended up busting completely out to put a new windshield on there, put 2 bullet holes in it, and redo that. That's
Yeah.
no, absolutely not.
Sorry. Yeah.
after losing 3 days of shooting because motherfucker couldn't catch the goddamn keys to the car,
There are no
anyway.
reshoots anymore.
Yeah.
we wasted all of it.
We have depleted our reshoots.
Just make it look good
Yeah.
under budget.
5 out of 5 for me. I mean, this movie was in rotation during my childhood. So,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it might have its issues and it might have its problems and it might not even be a 5 out of 5, but to me this in my heart, this movie is a 5 out of 5 always.
Yeah.
Well, that concludes our episode. We hope you enjoyed it. Let us know in the comments what you think. Tell us if you like it, if you hate it. Tell us why. We'd love to interact with you. As always, you can follow us on social media.
On Facebook at the Nerd Corporation, a podcast.
Blue Sky and Instagram at Nerdcourt Podcast.
Or you can find us on TikTok at Nerdcourt Podcast.
And since you're watching us on YouTube, please don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and hit the little bell icon. We want to get into as many nerdy ears as possible, and that's the best way to help us do that. That's
Are
everything.
you going to announce that we crossed the threshold on YouTube?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. We're at 100 subscribers now.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Been around,
Moving on up.
only took us 5 years to do it, but
Yep.
I mean, dude, we've started doing like a full YouTube push for like the last little bit.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
not-
I mean, yeah. I mean, for the length of time that we've been on YouTube, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to downplay it at all. But
Yeah.
But
That's dope.
if you love us and want to support what we do, consider supporting us on PayPal, paypal.me/Nerdcourt Podcast. We want to have the best loot, give you the best giveaways, and give you the best nerdy experience, and that's the best way to help us do that. So, from all of us here at the Nerd Corporation, we thank you, we love you, and keep it nerdy, y'all.
Bye.
Peace out.